Welcome back to Project Ascension. I'm your host, Andrew Mallet, and we're here with Micmac, twin shaman, Pattie Brassard, 13th Bear Clan mother, Her Grace, Karen Ann Lusick McDonald, and, excuse me, supposedly he might join us is Sergeant Daniel Brad McMullen, United States Air Force. And let's see what's going on.
Okay, I'm gonna first show you. Let me shut some of this extra stuff off here, and I'm gonna point out what Dan saw. And just so you understand what's out there, okay? This is what we captured. Just a minute. Let it finish loading up.
Hang on, Patty. Richard, introduce yourself.
Who's sharing? Who's sharing right now?
You are.
You are, Patty.
Why is it not showing you what I've got on my screen?
It is.
It is. Hold on, Patty. Go ahead, Richard, and introduce yourself real quick.
My name is Richard Walworth. I'm a common citizen. I live in the United States.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead, Patty.
On what we can do about the surviving in the days to come with all the toxic stuff that they've done to our environment. But first off, Dan caught a unique little thing tonight with his iPad outside his front door. And it looks to me to be Blue KATCHINA. Stellarium says there ain't supposed to be nothing there. Only via the LASCO C3 we know there is something, right?
It's just below Virgo the Virgin, too. But, you know, it's a prophecy document.
It's funny that, yeah, you know, just because Stellarium doesn't show doesn't mean it's not there. If you go out there live, yeah, the Blue KATCHINA is out there. And that pretty much explains what Dan captured. In this view, some spaceships too, in both editions, here and here, and those look like they ought to be planets, but they're not. According to now, if you look at Stellarium, there ain't nothing up here, up and to the right of the moon. If it was way down here, it'd be Mars. If it was way over here, it'd be Saturn. But Jupiter is like way over. So it's not Jupiter either.
Patty, it looks like our clan mother, the star map, too. I'm just looking up there.
Yeah.
Look at that. Go back and
Now
take
these green ones, those are exoplanets. Those are some of the other planets that are actually being actively tracked. That we don't talk about. Well, we talk about, but nobody else talks about, except for a couple of observatories will tell you the number that there's 397 extra globes in the system. They won't say what they are or why they're here or anything like that. They'll just acknowledge that, yeah, they're here.
Copernicus is stuff too here, just
Now,
as well. The 13th. Look at that.
if we take the horizon off and zoom out, you get a better idea of just how many there are.
We have no lack of planets, do we? Or biospheres.
Say that again with those green ones.
See? Exoplanets. They're planets that are in our system that the group otherwise known as the Andromeda Council or the Council 12 has brought here to wage the war against the beings that don't belong on our planet.
What was the last count?
397. And for Dan's info, that's the Pleiadian star group right there.
Yeah.
And you can see.
And there you have different things like Ursula and stuff like that. Bear Clan and stuff. Arcturian. 7 sisters. 7 daughters of Eve, as they used to call it, but 7 sisters. Blajorian.
And these are the satellites that we have. That's the sea star.
Snow White and the 7 dwarf stars. Sometimes it's kind of hidden in little, stories for children. The Polaris and the white bear there.
All the brands over there. Now that's not in our system, and you'll notice the lettering color is a different color. That's a star that's not local. Locals they show up in white, or if they belong here, at least Venus. Some of them you can actually see their orbits.
Don't you feel like you're on Stargate 1?
Yeah.
Up on the Karen one in the command chair.
Yeah.
Kind of puts it into perspective some days, huh?
Right.
As in the
There we go.
Yeah.
Stellarium.
Hang on a minute. Let me put the overlay on there. And,
So Ursa Major and it's like the Clan Mothers and the Tara. Anastasia. Yeah, we're looking at the Aztec calendar. Ties into the Clan Mothers and the prophecies. And 460 BC, September.
the Aztec gives us the easiest way to look at things as far as the Clan Mother star disk and the like. No, was it not the Aztec? I did the wrong one, didn't I? Yeah, not the Aztec. The was it
Yeah, it was the Aztec.
Lakota?
Dakota Proclamation.
Lakota.
Dakota.
The Aztec, I did to do the galactic alignment because it's more exact, but it's not the one that's on the star disk. Now, why is it that I can actually see better what I'm sending around and it's coming out my laptop than I can see on my own screen? Oh, because that's why. Now, Windows changed the color. Hang on a second. It actually reduced the resolution on me. Yeah. Now let's look at it. That's a little better. But actually, it seems to be transmitting better than what I could see myself. That's pretty sad. So you're getting a better view than I am on my own screen. I can't see.
Really good view here.
That's what I mean. The actual circle is not, and the grid's not showing up very well on mine. I don't know why that is.
When Patty's referring actually to that, that's also the Clan seal
Maybe.
coat of arms. But that's the star disk that goes back to the very beginning when the tribes were first set here, as we saw in part 1.
That's your nebula.
It's hard to see unless she stops share screen.
It's all right. We can do it later.
What?
Isn't
This
this
is
fun going through the heavens?
Proper orientation. Now they called it the 7 little girls, the Pleiades, and that is what we're seeing in the C3. Let's go.
And that's the LASCO C3. That's the satellite that people can access, right, Patty?
Yeah.
General population if they go.
Just kick down. I don't know why. Yep. Why? There we go.
And I've just posted some of these pictures onto Facebook just now, and they'll be on Project INCENSION and probably the Goldfish Report as well. So
Maybe you even got some of the names of the planets that we've
I know.
migrated to.
Is my screen share even still working?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Mine
No,
volume.
Can you elaborate on what you mean by
Just
the planets
accuracy, you see.
migrated to?
Say that again, Karen.
Can Richard elaborate a little bit? He said, well, those are some of the planets we migrated to. What do you mean by that?
The black ops people that are no longer connected with Earth, the Earth that thinks
Right.
dead.
Right. Dead to the letter of the law. Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. And that's tribal law and KLANMOTHERS, but yeah, that's why the military and the black ops still recognize that, correct?
Yep. It's only through Patty that I found some of these names out. By just looking.
Information's out there, isn't it, when you really put your mind to it and do the research, right?
Yeah. A lot of people don't even want to do that.
The
Now I
screen
can-
share is really lagging behind. I don't know why.
Now I can see why it took 30-some years to be a druidess. A priestess.
Yeah.
Clan mother. I get to inherit a planet. How exciting. I get to go hopping exoplanetary style.
Like Jupiter ascending. I'm owner of the planet. Everybody thinks I'm nuts.
Well, I don't own anything, but I got title to it.
Yeah, that's it.
I really inherited. I do, and I clean toilets, but I got to let you know, it's all done with borax and thieves and essential oils. So
Yep.
you could upgrade a little bit there. Yeah, actually, it's very much the metaphors there, just like as in Avatar as well. So absolutely, if you combined almost Jupiter ascending and what's going on, and it's actually quite exciting, actually.
Well, if you look at all these squares and you look at them correctly and envision with the imagination, the Milky Way is moving into the Pleiades, crossing paths, and not destroying each other.
And going through the photon belt, yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long time. Everyone thought it was back in 2012, but that was just the end of the contracts. This is like Looking Glass. That was 2013, so we're just getting into the excitement now.
Yep. They're trying to say, well, I forgot they have a 0 year too. Well, it's a little more than that.
Yeah. The books I had off Meredith Quinn and stuff too, but by the time I studied them all, it took me a couple of years to put together.
I've only seen his videos, and it's just kind of mind-blowing how true what he's saying is today.
Absolutely. You know, the great Musur was known as Tutmosis or Moses. So you get that, and what's been handed down to me orally and been trained by, you know, elders and stuff over all these years. It's been amazing.
Now that is mind-blowing when you open that up and look at it.
On the big scheme of things. Patty, that's amazing.
That is an amazing thing if you study and figure out what the hell is all that about.
It's so amazing. It's in our SCIO. Every time I look here, there's another part of it in our SCIO biofeedback for scalar technology here.
Yep.
So grateful to having that.
That's where you get the planets.
Mm-hmm.
That we've migrated to. We're not just humans on this planet.
Yeah, we're yellow.
Yeah.
Cool.
What's more,
And there are some others.
what's more amazing is who took the picture.
This is actually scuff from 2 different ships that they downloaded. The white lettering is actually the behind overlay. I had to overlay two from two different systems. One was color coded by political, but they didn't have a key. Yeah, I matched them up and overlaid them. Made the top one 50% see-through, so that I could overlay one on top of the other to get all the ones we know about. Because these actually came from, they were using the same grid system, but it's actually 2 different systems. You know, screen captures, one overlaid over the other in high resolution. That's why really
naming system, yeah.
And a lot of these have human names, and so that says categorically they were involved. Others of these, I don't even know what language these. SSLISS. Same group owns this, obviously.
And the one with an R, Splash. Just plain SS.
Rusta.
And they're far distance apart.
So,
actually, no, they're not that far apart.
I know, a couple parsecs.
I mean, there's a lot really close to us, too.
Yeah.
People, that's the biggest lie NASA.
I think it's really
out there. There's nothing.
Biggest lie they ever told. We lied about everything.
And it's interesting how you see the gamma and the delta of those forces.
As we saw in STELLARIUM.
I would dearly love to know who those turkeys are out there.
There's the Pleiadian system.
Yeah, looks like
they need to come down. They need to come down and say hello to a few people and take them with them.
Yeah.
That is what they used to call the 7 little girls.
7 sisters. Yeah.
It's not sharing.
It's also called the 7 sisters, or the also the 7 daughters of Eve too, like the Eves or the mothers. Yeah.
Why is it not sharing?
See your mouse. That's it.
Yeah, it's amazing with Patty's expertise, as a former sergeant too, what Patty brings to offer to everyone.
Well,
over 20, 30 years doing this just in communications, satellites, A
lot of it is just her learning how to use the programs in existence.
That's a lot of things too. Is a lot of these tools are available like Stellarium and stuff like that, but it's very different. I know just having kind of had Patty as a close friend and mentor and stuff for 3-4 years, is that just sitting back, is that just even to navigate all this or to put it all together cohesively into a pattern. But so many of these different programs, I mean, we've watched where they're actually looping. In fact, we found one today, you know, looking at one again with activity in Geneva, CERN. We were watching that again, you know, doing surveillance. And again, it's not until you sit there and Patty go, oh my gosh, that's from last year, that's from 3 years ago. So people think, you know, it's something going on, but in fact, it's from something like 2-3 years ago.
I've been telling people there's over 250,000 dead people in CERN, and they think I'm nuts.
Well, you know, and I supposedly was communicating with a few people out there today on Facebook. So, you know, there's interesting things that are happening, you know. So we'll see what happens.
Get off your armchairs. Look around.
Yeah.
Get off your safety net. Open it up. Tear holes in it.
What if you? There we go.
Oh, there we go.
Let's see
That is a cool picture.
There we go. When I go full screen, it cuts off the share. I don't know why.
Well, it's full screen on my end.
Yeah, it looks good here.
That's window. That's window view on my machine. If I go full screen, it cuts the share off. You don't see anything.
Well, we'll just stay there for a minute. 7 little girls. Alcyon and all that.
That's what it says. 7 little girls.
Yep. 7 little girls. Now, you see where they're located in relation to the sun.
Is that the Big Dipper or the Small Dipper?
That gives you an idea. Huh?
Is that the Big Dipper or the Small Dipper?
It's big.
The Little Dipper.
Little one in there?
Little Dipper is Pleiades.
Okay.
The
I
plow and stuff.
remember. I learned it in school 60 years
When you
ago.
look, that show, see how it's lined up with. See how it's lined up almost directly above the sun.
Yes.
That tells you where the C3 satellite actually sits.
Pointing at. Really?
If I rotate, let me zoom out a little bit. If you come all the way out to Earth's orbit, C3 satellite. Are we out far enough?
Blue one right there, isn't it?
There's Mercury, so
Oh,
gonna
you
come
look
out.
at orbits.
That's the Astro. Yeah,
I see what you
I'm
do.
trying to find the
Yeah, C3, C2.
Cosmo, Okean, because I have all the satellite locations too.
Yeah.
That's one.
People are the least bit interested what the hell's going on above their heads. And that has so much to do with what's going on here on the
That's
ground.
everything. That's the whole why the people were here, why people were being tactically farmed for the Lucian and the Metagene, and women being taken to these different planets for breeding, and women going missing or cloning and stuff and selling the DNA, and that's all the basis to the kingdom, banking, when this was really gifted and inherited to the women.
They need to stop telling Lush, put the name of what Lush is.
Yeah.
Blood.
Blood money. Well, an old blood and new blood too. You know, some were eating the blood, and that was the difference also between
Blood from a live human.
They were eating live, and they still do. That's the difference between old and new money. But, you know, they called it the long pig. They would actually take the indigenous people here, and they eat them, and they still do. That's your satanic ninth circle and stuff. You know,
Caribbean, they did that in Columbus days.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when they tell you we got no eyes out there, these are all the satellites we have out there, okay? To give people an idea, all these little things with the little line through it, those are satellites.
Satellites of what? Where? Of Earth?
Those are our eyes out in space.
That's what I thought.
All these little white ones with the line through them, those are all our eyes out in space. So when they tell you they can't look at something,
blatant perjury. Who would run most of these satellites? Is this back to the Cheney, to the secret space program, or who would determine what? running in certain satellites, Patty?
It depends. JPL runs a lot of them. NASA runs a lot of them, and the military ones now are in control by the Navy.
Right.
And the ones of the black project that are not involved with anybody, they're out of our thing.
Well, for instance,
Again, JPL's a Jet Propulsion Lab, and
the LASCOs are run by NASA, as it says right here.
NASA.
They run the LASCOs, C2 and C3.
Yeah.
And go to planetary spacecraft.
yeah, where you can see stereo.
A listing on where they actually
And Lil,
are.
by the way. And Lil. Anki and Lil.
We're right here. The
Yep.
blue screen one is here.
Yep.
Red screen.
Yep.
One is here. That's the sun. Mercury, Venus, Mars. This is the Maven
In the future, we got to make your pointer bigger.
or Spitzer.
Make it black.
Yeah. Or
Do you know what I have here? I got a little UFO in my SCIO. It's a SCIO that moves around. It's a UFO. Well, it's not a UFO. It's an IFO. It's identifiable. I get to fly in that one through my AI.
Go to current date.
May.
Oh, I need a screen of what the magnetic lines around the planet really look like. That 4 thing that you had up. 4 screenshot of the magnetic lines around the planet. The ships sitting in front.
So how does this affect right now with the planetary shift and stuff too? Obviously, this is
Yeah.
we've got battles and star battles, and we've got 397 friends up there that are trying to assist us.
These nowcasts. Why are they? They're monkeying with the date. They don't even want us looking anymore.
Nope.
None of these are accurate. These are all 2015s. They do wipe the database.
They wiped it all out, all the 2016s. That was the second time today.
Yep. Wiped them all out. Yep. It won't let me pull the new ones.
That's your wonderful criminal government at work.
Yep. Let me go to all signets.
Too many people to listen to you, Patty. Before you were a pain in their butt, now you're a pain in their side.
115. There we go.
Cool.
That's, last month. Let's get April. Let's get May's. Come on. 22nd. Why? There we go. Yeah, see, they don't want you to see it. They're moving the satellites again. That's why. C3 is moving over. And we actually got it. Wipe one. See?
Is there any way you can make it bigger?
That's why they're doing it like that and making it.
That's Earth on the far right there.
Is there any way you can make that bigger?
They got this one, which isn't the truth. That one's not the truth. And when I run the actual, there's no way to make that pause now, but if I run the actual truth, you see how it changes it? Where that wave comes out?
Yeah.
Bam. Hang on, you'll see the difference when I click on play down on the bottom.
Explain that again. I'm not following.
They put one out there that's fake. And then when you actually download the data and hit play, see how much different it changes?
Mm-hmm.
Where that red hits, bam. It hit us broadside.
You see the field?
There's 2 editions out there. There's the truth, and then there's, even on this, they're trying to make it so you can't get the truth. So And then we have the magnetosphere. Let's see if they'll give me that one today. You can see the extra shield that we have that nobody talks about.
Provided by our friendly courtesy extraterrestrial friends.
The Andromeda Council.
The red one?
Periodically, our shield isn't out there. But we have a secondary shield, so it doesn't really matter.
And that's why it's so important that when we look at developing these enclaves, or as people think, eco-villages or sacred kin domains, our little lodge piece of space there in love, is that you'd have to know that this is going on to make these viable, to make them thrivable.
Well, the thing is, they can block the energy and the solar radiation and everything else, but they can't do anything much about UV, A, B, and C. That was done in our atmosphere. You understand? And they've killed our atmosphere. We've got no ozone left. And even if we stop now, the degradation of the ozone, the chemical process that goes on, takes 2 years to stop breaking down before you can even think about starting to do repair. Rebuild the ozone layer.
Hey guys, can I invite someone from New Zealand into this call?
Sure, more the merrier.
All right.
Who is
She's
it?
from Auckland, New Zealand. She calls herself the Stone Hobbit.
Oh, I know her. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I know
As soon as I find the number, go to Dan's. There we go. Copy. K-O-I-N.
Okay. And see.
There's the magnetic sphere and the grace.
Grace gravity map.
Grace gravity.
I want to go to ozone. To ozone. Latest data map. It's pretty sad, huh?
Sad state of the planet.
If we had ozone, it should be up in the orange to pink range.
And there's a scale in the far bottom right.
Yeah.
You can look at. NASA, Eyes on Earth. And again, Patty's well documented this. This has got to be about 2-3
There's
years
almost no
ago.
ozone left. And
This
this used to all be green, at least green. Once it gets on the purple, people on the surface who go out in the daytime are going to start dying.
Yeah.
It's gotten to that point. Now, the gravity field map, and you can see why why it's fixing the break where it's going to break. See?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Major differences. In the
Hot right there is making it pliable.
Now, these colors are all gravity. Centimeters of water. If you
Yeah, I know, but the gravity
Yeah.
and the hot spots are going to make it pliable, so it'll happen.
Yeah, it'll break. It'll snap.
Yeah.
And this is not what the New World Order wanted. Too bad. They wanted it to break up the Mississippi and go to the Lake Michigan.
Mm-hmm. No.
Guy is doing a switch up on her. Same thing down here. There's an interesting thing going on out here, though. You see that?
And then there's different, areas that are coming up, like new islands are coming up. It's like Atlantis is rising. We can see all sorts of
And
things.
out here. Yeah, see off the coast of Africa, out here, here. interesting stuff. We can go to look at the sea level. Where is it? Let me sound up. No. Nitrous oxide. So that's how bad. 320 is orange. That's nitrous oxide.
Wow.
That's a result of breaking down the ozone.
This is
Hydrochloric
why
acid.
the people doing this stuff like the nuclear containments and all different things here, chemical and whatever they've been doing,
Hydrochloric
and the
acid.
mining, fracking.
Orange is a high hydrochloric acid. Acid rain. Chlorine monoxide is another big issue with ozone in the whole entire planet. Is now covered with chlorine monoxide. Chlorine is a major product of breaking down the ozone.
And the whole thing too about the salinity of the planet, like people not being even have salt in themselves, their soul.
And this is nitric acid. So, you know, the damage they're doing, the nuclear stuff in the ocean is totally screwed our salinity. You can see what's coming out of the salt mines because of the Lake Pontchartrain event. It's emptied out in the Gulf, but you notice there's no current here. The ocean conveyor is shut down completely. And this salt here, orange is what it's supposed to be all over. This salt content here is full of Corexit that they're dumping like crazy in the Gulf to hide the oil. None here. None.
Holy crap. But is that 2015 or is it 16?
So, let me go to...
I think they wiped the 16 out.
Let's go to the latest that they got. Yeah, they only let you go to June 7th of 2015 now. They don't even want you to look now.
Right.
Now, this is May 22nd. It says right here, down the bottom left.
Yeah. I bet you this is all purple. All the way to Hawaii.
Well, the purple is fresh water. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Completely
Well,
fresh water.
but it's radioactive.
But blue ain't much above. Yeah. No, it goes down to the bottom. It kills the plankton. So there's no oxygen there anymore. And microbes are going crazy and attacking anything that's still swimming there.
Yep.
That's why all the animals are beaching as well too.
Yep.
There's no food, there's no oxygen, there's no ozone, there's no anything.
Well, I mean, things like dolphins and whatnot, they don't need oxygen in the water because they come up to breathe. But they need the fish that swim in the water that do need the oxygen to eat. no food, and they start dying.
Explain a little bit about the North and the South Pole, how we're looking at it too. There was like virtually no
ice.
No.
We need a picture of that.
Oh.
And there's the air temperature at 10,000 feet up. And look at that.
Yeah.
This is off the scale hot. This is better than 70 degrees at 10,000
above 70
feet. Above 70 at 10,000 feet. This is the black. Now you expect that down here because of the volcanoes and stuff.
Yeah.
But
that's the middle of the United States, Jesus Christ, all the way down to Dallas.
And all the way up into Canada.
Yep.
And out here in St. Louis. That's St. Louis.
Yeah.
This is Texas.
Texas, Louisiana border.
Guy is doing her thing. And look at Asia. And you know what all this is? This is all the mountain range. This is where, I mean, right here is where they filmed the movie Avatar.
Yeah.
And that's all lush stuff, and it's cooking. The only cool space right here is the Busegi Mountain area. Right here.
That's where the control room is.
Yeah, one of them. Yeah.
Yeah, one of. But the one they found in the 80s. And actually wrote true stuff about it.
Dr.
Wow.
Anderson, Peter Moon,
You know,
the other people I know.
you know what this spot is here, right? That's
CERN.
Geneva.
Geneva, CERN.
Yep.
CIA headquarters. Money, Swiss Army.
Look at all the heat
Bye-bye.
coming off of there.
Cooked the bastards out of the lake. CIA headquarters.
Exactly. Actually, David Chase talks about that on truther.org.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't want to listen to it. Yeah.
Now, this
I
is-
don't know about them.
This is soil moisture. They're
Yeah.
turning the planet into a duplicate of Mars. Yellow and orange is 0.
Moisture.
See a little bit too, like you also explained that with the magnetic shift, right, and the pole shift, right, we're going to be moving, whatever, 20-some degrees, whatever, but we're Tegish like us, magnetic news.
But look at Alaska. 0.
I've noticed that for the last couple of years. No moisture. I woke up this morning, it was light. It should have been dark. An hour and 40 minutes difference.
Yeah,
Yeah, had the schedule.
let's look at the surface temperature.
Go ahead, Stone, and give yourself a little introduction.
She's kind of leery. She's shy.
She knows me. I don't know why she's shy.
She's got invited blind. She don't know what's involved in what we're doing.
Should have been typing to her, letting her know.
I'm just doing
This is for filming. Yeah. This is for airing, for release.
What's this showing?
I'm going to do ocean surfaces.
Oh, crap. 2005?
See? This
Those occurrence.
is this is May 22nd. Got to use the bottom left. But you could see where the land's coming up. These are the animations.
Oh. Remover and Atlantis coming back.
We're getting up pulses here. I don't know what Guy is doing down here, but watch the Gulf.
Yeah. Whatever she does. She rises the floor there, they're going to flood the whole South United States coast.
And goes sea level. Yeah. Sea level variations. The ocean bottom's coming up big time right here.
And where the white,
White is plus 176 millimeters.
millimeters a day
Rise. That's rise. Yeah.
per day.
Yeah. That's plus. And purple is minus 170.
Sinking.
Yeah. Green is normal. That's something, man. So red and white are coming up. This is originally Moon. Coming back
Well,
up.
that white stuff coming up has got that hot stuff underneath it.
Yeah.
That's a magma
That
chamber.
was shown in the but I mean
And the dumb too, down in that area. That's why she's coming up.
It's interesting when you start thinking about the Heart Math Institute.
so look at
Things like
here.
with a level of awareness as people think consciousness too.
Now this will
Holy
show you
crap.
why This will show you why China has moved out onto these islands and set a population because they want to take over that new real estate as soon as it pops up out of the ocean.
Yeah, there's a bunch of real estate coming down around Australia and New Zealand too.
Yeah. Down here.
That's where they got the Cairnrians there. New Zealand's getting hit with all that stuff. I guess they're in there.
Yeah, and that black stuff is 10,000 feet at 72 degrees. What's that in Celsius? 30?
40's like, what, 104?
There's a real live view. You can see they've turned most of Africa into. Africa used to be all green, almost all green, except for a small portion up here where there's the Sahara Desert.
Yeah, in the
been,
80s.
yeah, they've pretty much killed Africa, and they're not done yet. Even here,
Okay.
they're killing it. Look at the United States. The United States used to be all green out west. So burnt. Same thing with 90% of, a good 60, 70% of South America is now all waste, desert. They're trying to turn it into a desert. And they've punctured salt mines here, which is why we're getting all that salt coming out of the Amazon. They did the same thing down there that they did up here in Lake Pontchartrain. The flood, the salt mines, because the salt mines, you got to understand what salt mines are. They are the original steam vents for the calderas. And when you had that major impact event down here 65 million years ago, it flashed all the water to steam, and all the salt fell into those steam vents. And all the plant life, when it flashed, melted the glaciers up here, everything, you had a flood of water come down and plug this caldera up. That's why we have the oil there. And they knew there's a shitload of methane hydrate sitting above it, which is why they knew once they put the Deep Well Horizon puncture through, there was no way they were going to hold that pressure. That was deliberate release of methane hydrate. Deliberate. No doubt about it. Now, when you look at Yellowstone, that's almost as far as that's going to go in, isn't it?
Mm.
It doesn't like this satellite won't zoom in any further. They don't like me showing people stuff close up anymore. They won't let me go in.
Define the they. I know who you mean, but
The New World Order, NASA. That's
there you go.
visible.
Thank you.
NASA is, never a straight answer.
Great answer.
Water and ice? Where? There is none. And there's a pole entrance, by the way, at the North Pole. There's no ice. The hybrid Anunnaki Zetas, otherwise known as the Zionists, that camped out at the South Pole, they're running NASA these days. That's why you don't get to look at the South Pole at all. But just look on the edge of it here, okay? And it's that. What does that say? 115 degrees? Yeah, there's some major stuff going on down around the South Pole. They don't want you to look at that no more. The Greys are camped out here, so they don't really care. They let you see the hole.
There's a few ships that have gone missing.
Yeah.
Looks like they got thawed out.
Say that last part again, Patty.
The Greys camped out in the base of the North Pole. They don't really care what you see anymore. The South Pole is held by the Zionists, who are hybridized together Anunnaki Zetas. And that's who the Queen Elizabeth Tudor group and the dragon families and everything are all associated with those folks that are camped out at the South Pole. And those are the folks at the South Pole who adopted the Nazis.
And it's interesting. We were talking about bloodlines and, the tribals were Rh positive or whatever, but it's interesting. We were talking about the Rh negative blood factors too, right? For people and how they've been manipulated or alienated and stuff too, or like a lien on your soul, so to speak.
You look
But
down
that was
here.
Jesus was talking. We were just talking about the thing, but Patty was mentioning too. A lot of people would think Jesus is coming and all that sort of stuff. As was mentioning, the bloodlines are traced to be in these alien bloodlines, like a Zeta hybrid.
No.
Degrees Fahrenheit, 115 is purple, okay? What color do you see there?
Purple.
115
Indigo.
degrees Fahrenheit.
Which is why we're, if you're Solarian like we are too, but
That's the South
super
Pole.
raw food. Yeah, super raw food. Just don't go over 115. 105 to 115. Never boil water at 212.
It's the same. It's same temperature there as it is in these hot spots in Africa where they've got the in India and other places they got volcanoes going off. Okay, it's hotter than the volcanoes going off in South America and the Panama area, Mexico. It's hotter.
And for the rad count, you now put this on top of that with the radiation.
Yeah. So. We'll, close
Some
out
of these
there.
areas are not going to be really too hot
I
here.
get it to close.
Be staying in.
I got
Pole
too much.
shift.
Gotta close out of some of this stuff here. Starting to load up. Close that.
So everyone's enjoying their full moon and the blue moon tonight?
Mm.
Well, we'll look at your depth first because that's yeah. Right. Resource not found. It's really.
It looks like that, when you see the SCIO thing when we do our auras and stuff, hey, Andrew?
Yeah.
And if you go this way, it's the same thing planetary. That's how we're looking at you. The planes of existence. Which is why I've got actually like back in here. Actually, this was my new present today, gifted, but it's one of those essential oils that you can actually screw the bottle into. Fine mist, cold mist. Because we're having to put essential oils in to protect ourselves and put the ionization and stuff like that. A little bit of negative ions or Solay, salt water, enormous back into the environment.
Okay. Just okay.
Back to the lower left and you.
But another reason to be on a grounding mat here too. Amethyst beds and stuff. And this is exactly why, because we know what's been coming here. 0-point grounding, amethyst beds, negative ionic fields, EMF free radiation.
This is the new Eurodep because they don't want you to pinpoint where stuff is coming from. I just want to show you the difference. They've made everything in little, octagons because they don't want you to pinpoint where the rad is. But I mean, you look at these amounts, and this is the chart up here.
Where's Dr. Schronhaus when you need him? Mr. Octagon, it's Switzerland there.
Now we're gonna go to the original.
Actually, when you talk about a lot of the groups too, and the Jesuits, New World Order, Illuminati, NATO, all that sort of thing, when Patty's referring to a lot of that, this has to do with Octagon. So Dr. Sean Ross is HROSS. That's a whole study in itself, right up there with Santos Bonacci and Michael Tessarian and stuff. Patty, we're going to have to get you the Laniakea Exo University, according to Patty Brassard. Back.
I want the original map, folks. Not the simplified, because I'm not simple.
You know, I was just thinking, yeah, it's too bad Dan's here not to appreciate this one, but instead of a knick-knack, Patty, we'll have to give the dog a bone. We'll just have a knick-knack, Patty. We'll just give them all that. Don't give them any more bones.
What did they do? Take the other one offline?
There you go, Dep.
Yeah,
It's gone too. Oh.
the original one, it looks like they've killed it. Oh, no, there we go. Advanced map. That's the one I use. This is the one they don't like, because this one's actually got all the data.
Not that we don't mind sharing, just so people can get the information and make their own informed.
They've
good
moved
for
it.
So we like to do things openly like this.
This one was
Radiation. I want people to pay very close attention to what Patty's going to disclose here about the levels here over 400 or 500 and what the radiation is and where those actual not only nuclear facilities are, but how they're melting down, and it's in the areas, and waste is being distributed in different areas.
Major
Now, this one you can zoom in on the really dark ones, right where there's nasty stuff going on, and take the little pointer finger here and select that reader and get the actual readings. You know what I'm saying? It's Italy. Pushing over 200.
And that's the T gamma. And if you go to actually Patty Brassard on albums, there's an entire UK and the RADs, and right across Patty's done globally to find out for your local area.
Now, this also lets me choose other systems, which is the other thing they don't like showing. And it lets me, show where the reactors are. And
make no mistake, when I'm doing biofeedback with people across the globe internationally, I've got numerous clients. They're getting nothing but headaches, skin lesions now. Many, many women and men, but a lot of women are losing their hair, especially over the last 6 months, they've noticed. Eyebrows, eyelashes, everything. So this is why it's really important for people to use things like aroma essential oils, raise their vibration, get alkaline, and get the Solay Himalayan salt water or black Himalayan salt water or something into you. Start salinating as quick as you can.
See, this lets me choose what I want to take samples of. The ones that are still online, at least. Well, a lot of them are offline, but I mean, I could select for, say, lithium. Which is a good determination of reactor waste.
And a lot of people
shut off all the.
That's a scary proposition in itself.
Yeah. When you think that a lot of people just assume there's a few little nuclear reactors, there's been Chernobyl, 3 Mile Island, a few things, Hanford, whatever, what's been going on with Fukushima, but they have no idea. And a lot of people up on this end, right? They assume everything's down there, but I know here there's and I'm on the move all the time, and I'm going to be moving all next week too on the road. But there are different things too. I know.
In all of the UK.
What?
In all of the UK, there are only 2 stations monitoring for iodide in
That's Europe.
out of all Europe. They've shut all those off because they don't want you to know.
Same thing with Canada.
Yeah.
Since
only
2011.
The only stuff they want you to see is the gamma. And
Very
all of
good.
a sudden, all the stations are online and got data.
Oh, wow.
Layer
But-
after layer of cover-ups.
Well,
But
that cover up is so good it makes people believe, well, they still got it up.
Now, these do by color coding, okay? Let me go to a better map that's got more. Mercantor. It's got more data.
You also have to, again, combine into that when you see jet streams and everything going, like a lot of people assume, oh, Canada, the States, oh, it's over there. There's no border to this.
Nope.
So when we were looking at some of the stuff in Detroit and Toronto and Ottawa, I mean, it was in some of the stuff going into the tens of thousands, you know, and I know north of, you know, where everyone's,
Yeah, like Bakersfield, California.
well, in Hanford and stuff too, close to the West Coast. But I mean, you combine that or you start looking at where Fort McMurray,
Purple ones?
there.
Bakersfield is West Coast.
See these dark purple ones? They're above 400, and they don't want to tell you how much above 400, these dark purples. Here,
It's off the
here,
scale.
here. Well, we'll give you an, for instance. This is the Netherlands. It's not too bad. It's only 80.
Evacuated city, what? 100, 150? When we put that back into perspective, though.
Oh, this one's going over 160. That's in Germany.
Yep.
Then you get down here in France.
And remember, this
Oh,
is
it's not-
water.
Yeah, they're pushing. Yeah, they're pushing 150.
See, New Zealand's not supposed to have any nuclear power plants, but I think they do have some.
Oh, they got the Karen Rianza down there. That alone is like a mini CERN.
Yep.
You can see it through all the
Oh,
digital.
we've
cyber
had
wars.
some reading.
Yeah.
Intermittently, we've had readings over 9 million.
Yeah.
Look at that one.
They got to shut off.
That's 4,000. They got a peg at 4,000 in Austria.
And we've seen that where they've actually just come on and then they shut it off for a week or two, and then they had one reading just shut it
Well,
off.
look at the bottom graph. It says 0.
There's almost nothing. Then you get a
Yeah.
spike here because they did a release and it's over 4,000.
But past their limits of turning it off.
And again, a lot of these things are being released with the contamination even at night and stuff.
At night, in the middle of the night.
Which monitors don't give a damn whether it's night or day.
No, it depends what time you want to turn it on and off too, right?
But
Yep.
but even the color codes. I mean, it just means if it's purple, it's over 400. They're not going to tell you how much. Look at that one. That one's what's that? 32,000 in Hungary. 32,000.
Well, there goes Budapest. Immune University and our SCIO people. You doctor. Dr. Bill Nelson's out there.
What is that reading?
CPM.
CPM counts per minute.
Counts per minute.
Well, for people,
It's always counts per minute.
for people who don't know what that is, what is it?
It's
That's
ion.
neutrons, which are split radioactive content that's split. Neutrons flying through the air
That
in
kill
such
you
high concentrations that you get 32,000.
per minute.
It's like
Per
a
minute.
neutron bomb. Everyone's doing the neutron bomb dancing.
That breaks your DNA. It physically breaks the letters in your DNA. That gives you, cancer. Because if radiation breaks your 21st chromosome, which is your repair chromosome, and it tries to do a repair with incomplete data, you now got cancer. And depending on what part of your body and what kind of content, depends where your cancer is going to be, or whether it's leukemia, cancer or leukemia. If it's in your bones and it's strontium, if it's in your bones, it's brought to you by strontium. It's going to be called leukemia.
720 billion years of age before it changes, and you'll be powder before then.
Well, that's what's really important. Like all the scriptural oils, like birch, pine, fir, frankincense, palo santo, myrrh, all that stuff goes right into the bones directly and into the brain.
Yeah,
birch goes coated for them.
This is pretty far down range from that other one, and they're still getting 750?
25, something like that.
And and that's a good deal away. That's hang on, let me.
That's why doing this SALMIAK is really important that we're bringing in.
I said some to Stone Hobbit. Said her 2 pounds.
So, and again, there's the
That's
powder
120 miles away from. That's 120 miles away from the real high source count. But I mean, look at all the purples. I mean.
So those are kind of gifts too. If people want to know how they can help or how they can contribute and stuff like that, that's something that are viable gifts and things that I mentioned too. Pattie's been volunteering as I've been doing this for years. And this information is, life-saving.
Some of the stuff is really bad.
Those are the kind of things that would be helpful going back into people that are doing
That's the White Russians.
They know it went off the chart because it's purple and there's no data. Well, the Russian Federation. There's no data there. It's purple. There's no data. You gotta get it. Pointing. It's open. Ooh, that one's that's today. In Turkey, they're pushing 2,000. That looks like a little tactical nuke. That's what that looks like. U.S. was unhappy with someone.
Go over to Pine Gap in Australia.
Look at that.
Where's it at?
That's
Turkey.
Konya, Turkey. Somebody's doing that's depleted uranium bombing. Somebody's dropping bunker busters in Turkey. Why is he?
The Russians are.
Why is this going on in Turkey?
Because Turkey's getting ready to attack Syria.
Money. That's the money.
The money.
Where to start?
By Sparta, Turkey?
Turkey's getting ready to use the Kurds to fight in Syria.
Yeah, they're putting a hurt on them.
That's why the ETs, those CERN people, killed that fucking space shooter that they had in Turkey up on the mountain.
I'll just watch it. This is for air, actually.
Look at that.
Outer space defense.
This is another one of those really high ones. It's 350,000. I mean, 650,000.
Whoa.
So you want to look at Pine Gap? Australia?
That's
let's look at Pine Gap.
Let's see
a couple other areas just quickly. And then maybe focus on some solutions.
No, I'll have to go to the other map. But
I think maybe look it up in the northern ends.
I gotta redo this one. I'll have to change it. Put it there because they don't want me using that anymore, and they trashed the old link to it. Let's go to the international That's global.
Because Stone Hobbit used to live close to Pine Gap.
Global. That would be
As
here.
a kid.
That's the Perth.
On the wrong end of the island. Think.
Earth.
First on the east. You'd be on the west.
Let's go. CPM this week. E.
First on the east.
They're
side
not
of
too bad. They're only pushing about 37.
$100?
No, just 37. They're not that bad. Even let's just go with today's.
Yeah,
They
that's,
they peaked at 40.
that's the east coast of Australia, Perth.
Jump up to Pine Gap.
It's on the west coast.
Yeah. And then Canberra.
Pine Gap's out here.
No,
No, Pine Gap's up
on the
up
west
top,
coast.
up on top more.
There is no readings here. Not even for the international. They're not going to show you that. They won't even show the international community what's going on up there. There are no readings.
Go on the right. There's Queensland or Gold Coast.
These are the ones you got. That's it.
Yeah. Right there. What's the number? 0.13 next to Canberra. The one yellow in the middle. What do you?
Offline. Yeah. These two are offline. So there's got to be something going on out here. Because there's two stations there shut off. And another one here shut
Three
off.
of them.
It's the only one left working. So what do you want to bet that they put this one indoors? You know what I mean?
Yep.
And even at that, it's pushing 25. So, I mean, you know damn
It's
well
too
they
clean
get
to be
that
outside.
indoors.
It's too clean to be outside.
Yeah, and with three others around it shut off?
Yep.
With three others around it that are shut off? Yeah.
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 What's that one?
We got here. Yeah, 25. That ain't nothing. But again,
There was a big earthquake in Australia, 6.1 also, today.
Right. There was quite a few today.
Yeah.
CERN as well, Geneva. But again, earthquakes or ET and plasma things getting thrown at people. Kind of like, Fort McMurray. Strange things happen.
they're
Yeah,
pushing,
but it was high enough it
45.
cut
Basis.
down cable lines.
they're pushing 45 here. So yeah, they're getting some hammering. That's why most of these are off, either indoors or offline.
The 5.0s are pretty much just taking out bases.
Yeah.
And lower. What's that, New Zealand?
Yeah.
25.
What's the south end of the North Island?
Yeah, they're just catching downwind stuff off the shore.
See what Auckland's getting. It's up on the north end. Yeah, that one.
Below Kaitara.
They're really low.
Oh, that's a lot.
Oh, wait a minute.
Look at
Wait a minute.
that.
That's dose. Let me go CPM. They're getting 30.
Yeah, but look at all the lines up and down.
That's what I mean. The P is peaking at 30. But
Yeah, but you're getting a hell of a lot.
well, background is 2. No, background is 0.02. And my usual stuff, and I've got a reactor right down upwind of me, and I'm getting
20 minutes away.
12s to 17s on a daily basis, and I get peaks around 60. But yeah, they're getting way more than I'm getting.
Yeah.
We better let Vinny Eastwood know down there for the Vinny Eastwood show. People's Internet Radio, another one of our co-hosts.
Like he's more or less been blackballed.
Oh my gosh, we're getting like thunder and lightning, and it looks like it's splitting, and we're getting the light show up here. We're getting a solar show. It's just flaring and flashing. So much for the Northern Lights tonight.
Yeah, Geneva's pushing 25, but their EQ dose is 25. That's absorbed dose, and it's really high today. They're getting 0.25 absorbed. That's way worse than air. The CPM and the CPMs are only 25. That means they got to be putting out something pretty damn hazardous at CERN. To get that high an absorbed dose with that low a count, well, I mean, they're down in the valley, and see, they're actually not even. They put this thing as far away from the actual CERN component as they could manage, so it's getting the onshore breeze to clean it up a little bit. And they're getting the wind from the airport too. This is way out where the camera is. It looks at the setup they've got on the traffic here.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for the little brown dome when I couldn't find it. It was hid by a goddamn tree.
And they actually have pointed out the major CERN points, which there is no measurement around them. Gee, I wonder why.
They want us to find out about all the dead bodies there since November. I wonder how many people have killed construction crews.
Now it makes sense why they put the morgue way over here. That's why they got the morgue way over here. It's pretty much as far away from that reader as they could get it. That's why they put the morgue way over in this area.
I'd love to
get away from the rad reader.
Love to get one in the convention center, see what the readings are.
Yeah.
Where all the bodies are being stacked up. What are they doing?
Yeah.
Flying them out?
No, because they had to clean out. They had to stack more in there because they had the expo at the airport. So they had to clean out the airport area to have the expo. So they had to stuff them all in one location. But I mean, look how many rad readers, even the international ones, that are offline. They only want to give you the information to the international community, who are all New World Orders anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, they got some up here. You got
Edmonton.
That's Edmonton. Yeah. So go ahead, click on it.
There's so many reactors there, and of course Fort McMurray is just above that. Saskatoon's got a reactor. University of Saskatchewan, the Slowpoke here in LHC.
Here's the thing.
Areas.
We don't know how much further off the top of the chart these lines go. 20's
Right.
down here. This is another scam way, because that line actually goes above the chart, and they don't want to tell how much.
They just move the 20 line up and discontinue the 25 or 50 or 100.
Yeah, so if you're looking at,
20's
different things,
here, and it goes up off the top. They don't want to show you.
And there's reactors that are
So
north
they're
of there
scamming you that way.
as well, and bases as well that are detonating as well. You've got Cold Lake, you've got Fort McMurray, you've got Suffield, Nelson, Wainwright's up there.
It's amazing
Cold
how
Lake,
many subfields
Thunder.
are on this planet.
I know.
Look how many in the United States have shut off.
Mom.
I'll just
Oh,
even
you know why that was off? Because they got the
That's
nuclear
St.
waste
Louis.
fire. Yeah, they got the nuclear waste fire going on underground. That's why. And they say shut off Albuquerque because you got the whip leak.
What is this about WHIP? I hear about it, but it makes no sense. I've not heard of it before.
You've never heard of the whip site? That's
Nope.
they took most of the Carlsbad caverns, cut it off. They got a base under there.
Carlsbad Caverns?
Yeah, Carlsbad. Now you go to a little bit to the east, and you've got the whip site. There's an aquifer running under it. There's a river running over it, and they're storing waste plutonium
In Carlsbad Caverns.
to the east of it. Yeah, underground.
And with the fans and stuff and the releases they were doing.
I was actually in there. The only caverns I'd ever been in. It's a beautiful trip.
That's what
20-some years old.
So, actually, that beautiful green one we have there with the A-warp field, I just love to use it. That was the demonstration there on the panel. A lot of people don't get that when you have deep underground military bases or synchrotrons, even that warp drive picture actually shows basically how this stuff goes right through. It's like at CERN when it went through, it went right through the ground. It blew like pipes open. You know, and a lot of these different graphs in here, like when you look at the gamma in Detroit or whatever that was done there, you'll see all the different levels of it. And I mean, those are in the, thousands, 8,000, 9,000, and beta.
That's New Mexico. Because of the website.
I'd say it's a hell of a lot higher than that.
No, that's his background. That's not when they have a major
Oh, that's his background?
gassing out event. That's
That's
because of the shit under the ground. When they have a major gassing out event, it's even way worse. This is what ended up in Denver when they had the gas out event.
Son of a bitch.
And this is shut off. When you have a straight line like that, that means they shut it off.
They shut
That's
off
what you
beforehand,
get.
too.
That's what you get downwind.
Yep.
Can you bring out
But
the
even-
Detroit one there? Yeah. The
Which
gamma
one?
with the Detroit.
That one. The multi-range.
Oh.
That one.
This is important for people to get. Some of these were speaking, like in Detroit, we're up to like 9,000. That was like 2 years ago.
Well, these are the ones that I did that chart for.
Yeah.
Go to my this one. This has all my. This has the caldera and all that in it. Let's see. Where's my chart that I made?
So what I'm feeling is it very strongly is we know what the problems are, and maybe a lot of people have got hardly any information or their heads are in the sand, but regardless, is we need to look at the solutions and really, I think, present a few of the
It's a
things.
chart I made up for those multi ranges.
Yeah.
Color coded by content. So when you look at this multi range here, let's do it side by side. Now you can look at the content and how long that content's going to be around. Like this yellow stuff here that's at 100,
Mm-hmm.
1,015 years. Okay. This black stuff, that is metals. I don't know if you can. Let's see. The red stuff, that's, you know, plutonium and stuff like that. So it depends on what component fissionable it is. If it's uranium-235 or plutonium-238 or plutonium-239, that's, you know, the bomb, that's 24,100 years. But really, the U-235 is 703,800,000 years. Okay? By the time you get through half the decay chain, that's not even the full decay chain, that's half. So double that number
The
before it's all
kind of,
gone.
Patty, the kind of material that one would have to use within these enclaves or eco, whatever you want to say, village or domains, you would have to know and have this, obviously, you know, knowing this, utilize those materials to, you know, filter this stuff out.
You could, yeah, you can't even be growing in the soil anymore because that crap's all over the ground.
Exactly.
It's in the water.
It's in the fish. It's in the cattle. It's in the chicken. It's in your chicken eggs and dairy and cheese.
That's why I make these. You know, I designed these. They're completely self-contained. And these are the houses that go in them. And even those have, you know, individual containment, so you can, you know, set your individual grow for what you and the group that want to live in this one building. You can set your own temperature zone to grow stuff from anywhere around the planet. But that goes for the dome entirely. The entire enclave has 12 temperature zones to get, you know, so you can grow food from anywhere around the planet. It doesn't matter. And set it the way you want it, because there's 3 levels of glass. There's the outer glass, the inner glass, and then the glass on your individual homes.
Yeah.
You know, fiber optic light pumped from the outside. Now, they claim that fiber optics, you know, you can't get enough underground. Well, guess what? That's a lie. You know, I'll show you why. Close some of these out. Go up to my.
That's why it's called fiber optics. You can direct your light where you need it.
No, it's not that. This is a little trick that they use for the transatlantic fiber optic communication and network system. Put that in the line.
Yeah.
They sell them. They're off-the-shelf items.
Doctor, transducing.
Yeah, it's off-the-shelf items.
You can not only boost it, you can split to multiple signals. That's them right there.
That's how they do it in
This
servers.
is the stuff that China's got. See?
It's what they do in servers, too.
Yep. So it's like, this is what they look like, the inline boosters.
Little. They're not very big. Jesus Christ.
That's all it takes.
I've seen them.
Yep. That's fiber, those are fiber booster, inline boosters. See?
What does the booster do?
In between these, you can push the light up to 20 kilometers.
Wow.
Pushing what?
They say fiber optic light doesn't travel far enough. Bullshit. That's a lie. You can push a single light source up to 20 miles. 20 kilometers. Like, yeah, what? 12 miles, roughly.
And you keep doing it forever.
Gosh knows there's enough fiber optic
And you can
cable light everywhere.
buy light, fiber optic light trunk lines.
Seen those. Flat ones are amazing.
Around through your walls and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
See, signal in is weak. Signal in out is stronger.
Yep.
That's what
The coupler.
couplers do.
And now they do them under the ocean. They put a little crystal in there and have the crystal put out the voltage to do the boosting.
Yeah.
The weight of the water on the crystal
Allows the current.
creates power.
Well, yeah, it's going to be a hydrocell.
And then you have these, which are splitters. One in, you get two out.
Okay.
Both boosted. So that's what I mean. This is off the shelf tech. They've actually got rack servers for doing multiples.
Yeah.
And that's the link repeater booster circuitry. Oh, they've been coming out with a whole bunch of really, really neat light fixtures. For
Yeah.
that. That's
You can
pretty.
actually talk to the light and you can hear it. Yes. I can hear you.
This is a entire cabinet,
A what? Tire cabinet? A boosters?
fiber cabinet.
Oh. That's kind of
Yep.
small.
Entire cabinet.
Damn.
Tons and tons of lines in them.
Yeah. In a small space.
So I mean, this tech is out there, but they won't use it for what they call it. It's hybrid solar lighting. It's out there, but nobody uses fiber for lighting here in the States.
Right.
Here's another way of doing it:
Except maybe in the dumbs.
photobiotic reactor.
Photo.
Biotic.
Explain that a little bit.
Oh, so
You can run the lines through there, get the algae going in there, and this actually creates power. You see what's plugged into the top?
What are they?
Those are fiber light going down inside,
And doing what?
and this is a bioreactor, biological reactor to create power.
Just using algae and different.
Using algae, light and algae.
We got plenty of that in the ocean right now. Maybe not. Maybe just stuff that eats stuff up.
The line light amplifiers.
Oh, I've seen them. Got many of them where I used to work.
Yep. And this. See, somebody's already got their hands on this. You see this screen capture here? You know where this is?
No.
This is an old subway station in New York. They're building a miniature addition. It's not standalone. It's not full green. They're just doing a grow place in a subway, an abandoned subway in New York.
Just think you can grow all kinds of pots there.
So this proof of concept, right there is proof of concept of the lighting issue. There it is right there. Already been done. I don't know how they got their hands on it and got it in the United States, but they're already doing it. This is what it looks like. Yeah. Natural light underground.
Actually, there was some neat LED and stuff too. I was just talking to Boyd Anderson, Saskatoon at Silk at Lofty Tech, looking at some of this stuff.
Look at these. This is so beautiful.
Those look like orbs on a string.
Yep. That's fiber, not string.
I know.
But
The ends of it look like orbs.
They've got some new fiber now, which is side light. In other words, rather than coming out the end, it comes out the side, and you can do stuff like that. It's beautiful.
Christ, tunnel shit.
Light tunnels, yeah. Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
But your reds and your purples are pretty much the colors that grow plants.
Yeah.
So that's, they're using it to grow roses and all kinds of other stuff. But that's pretty much what plants want. Red, your blues, your purples. This was another idea that they did, but that's just putting skylights, and I don't,
Yeah.
That's not using the full. It's not viable.
Nope. It's not protectable either.
The other ones I had.
The other thing too, using the water and stuff like that with the turbines and stuff, protecting the fish. The Crombie. Very cool.
What the hell is that?
Fiber optic lighting.
Well, don't the ends got to be capped off, or you'd be putting people's eyes out?
No, those are the display the light out. You put that down your plant beds.
In your what?
But your low plant beds.
Your plant beds. Well, won't that put your light out to scar your retina?
No. That's the side, the long strings of fiber with the side light stuff to shine it down in a way that can blend in when you plant around it. So it puts the light down with plants don't have to fight for it.
Put it down into the plant growing area when the plant grows up.
There's all sorts of new, see? That's why those new setups work.
So you can get it to burn around the corner?
The more you bend them, actually, the better they are.
Damn.
This is what, your fiber optic feed system.
I knew they'd have to do something because it didn't like corners.
Solar chimney. It doesn't matter now.
How much longer would you like to go, Andrew? It's getting late.
Yeah, I was just going to say that we're at an hour and a half right now.
Yeah.
We were an hour and a half before.
Yeah, this is part 2.
Yeah.
Now, this is a screen capture from the original test for the MODS program. But, yeah.
Well, then they do that, something like that.
This is in miniature what I want to do in Grant.
These are easily viable,
This
too.
is what I want to do. Grant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyone could go to indoor vertical gardening, like whether it's grow towers, but you can just put indoor vertical grow towers, and you will come up with this kind of stuff. This is pulled off YouTube. I've been looking at this stuff for like years.
They got plenty of it out there.
Yeah, and they need to be brought up here.
Yeah, and before we go, we need to go back to the hot spots in the United States.
This is LED generated. 10 watts does all that.
That's bright.
Yep, 10 watts.
Damn.
10 watt.
And that was just a coil of fiber. And that's the illumination outside the fiber that's going down the length of the fiberglass.
Yeah.
It's just a leaker.
These are some other neat ones. These are light sources to put in your flower beds and stuff that look like flowers.
Just
Hey, if they work.
creativity.
They get really creative now. I mean, there's some people out there really putting brain work into this stuff.
Well, people will buy it and says, hey, I like the color, and then find out
Well,
it's
yeah, I mean-
real good.
These two right here are the best two for growing. The blue and the pink.
Just goes the red and the blue.
Well, as you can see from here, when you're doing those are the blues and the reds, and the violets are what. The violets create a lot of heat, though.
Yeah.
But they are the best for growing. So I mean, you can actually use them in a manner of speaking for temperature control too, in your environment. See, this is a 10 to 36 volt DC switching amplifier for fiber.
I have seen them loose, not in action.
That's a whole circuitry put in a tiny little.
It's small. It's not very
One
big.
fiber goes in, two fibers come out.
About 4 or 5 inches long. Not huge. Doesn't weigh a lot.
Yeah, so you can put them right in line. So I mean,
Patty, if people wanted to assist and contribute, where can they get a hold of you at? Like, what would be the most exciting way to do that?
the easiest way to get a hold of me is email me directly.
Okay.
PATTIEB dash, that's the dash in the middle, FINE at Comcast.net.
Because we're going to need some assistance to make this, to pull this off. And this is over a lot of people saying, but it's not that this is not doable.
Like I
And right
said,
now,
this is all off the shelf.
quad locks, everything.
I mean, there's little components to these. You see these here? These are multi-use. You can use them to burn your garbage. They actually tie into your heating system and recover the heat when you burn anything. Or you can run wood in them when you're first doing your initial build and you don't have a heating system in yet. Very versatile. They use these heat recoveries. So they can actually put heat
That's
into your
air.
heat system. Yeah, they can put heat into your heating system without having to turn the heating system on if you have stuff that you need to burn.
Right.
You know what I mean? There's a lot of facets to making these things and making them the right way.
Plus, if you turn it out like a Hobbit home, you can really go cheap.
I mean, Quadlock has a good system, but they still stick too much in their designs to standard houses, which are not thermally efficient.
Right.
Usually
Looks like a Korean.
Quadlock product, but I have my own design on how to actually put them together. Is that in here or in the other directory? But I moved it to here. Yeah. See, I'm using two of the biggest clips. You're getting an insulator inside a concrete wall that ties through to a second concrete double insulator that's outside with an insulator in between, and then double metal inside walls, double Farrah cage inside and outside. Run all your
Cables.
EMF stuff. Your power lines, your web, and all of that. And then you can build up to 5 levels and do what's called a legacy part. Your footer, your walls, floors, everything all at once. Because normally when you do these quad lock floors that you put your circulated hot water heating underneath, you have to put scaffolding underneath to hold it up until the cement cures. With my system with the metal walls, you're not only getting EMF protection, you're putting a full permanent
Girder system already in.
Yeah. So you can build up to actually assemble up to 5 floors.
Because the one you have vertical, you go
Holds the
laterally.
support beams. You put
Yeah,
your support
but
beams,
you-
everything.
But you
then
got
put your
more,
quad
more
block.
of these out to the left and to the right, making the floors.
These,
Suspension system.
rather than putting temporary scaffold to hold these, the weight of these until the concrete cures, I'm putting permanent support. It
Yeah.
stays.
That's why I
You
say
know-
that wall is moving left and right. It's not just the outside wall.
Yeah, that's going all around the outside of your building. That's, you know,
But
both
in the center of the
enclave
building, too.
and the individual housing.
In the middle of the building too, to the outside wall. You got your floors already made. When you interlock those systems.
Let's see. It's not. It's the other one. The whole quad lock system, when it goes together, I got a picture of when they were doing. Say, this is after you put the scaffolding. You put these down. You cut out. You put the rebar across, and you put your heating, circulated hot water heating tubes down in there, and then you pour concrete over this.
I've seen some.
No, once it sets up, you normally remove the scaffolding, but I won't have to.
Because it's a system of a big parking garage,
Yeah, because I want to hold,
but you're using water and heaters and all that
be
other
able to
stuff.
hold, you know,
Soil.
not just people, but soil and everything else.
Yes. It's a big underground parking garage.
Well,
All kinds of cablings and stuff, and it's all pre-made, pre-planned.
it's not actually. Well, you assemble the frame like Legos, and then you pour your concrete.
That's how they do parking garages.
But it's only half
All
underground.
the time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But see, this is ground level here.
I can see what you're doing with that frame.
This is your hydrogen gas storage for your stove and everything. This is your geothermal heating systems, and you know.
It's where you get your hydrogen to heat things. Power things.
Well, you can run power. You get it from splitting water. So you have a free, fresh oxygen supply inside. So you're not bringing in radioactive contaminated stuff from outside. That's an important issue too. You gotta have it. See, that's how the quad lock floors are normally done.
Yeah.
This is This is enough information for a whole nother thing. To do this we need to do more in depth on this subject. So let's.
And there's a whole thing on that, because you can go into the stones that reject radiation that goes as a part of your aggregate and your concrete. And there's a lot
Yeah, we should
issues.
Should do a whole another show on this, like tomorrow, or next day, or something.
I see there's a lot of issues that nobody's ever talking about, too, about the radiation.
Well, we could look at doing another one right away, and then I'm on the road again, so. Anyway, there we be. Thank you so much, Andrew. I appreciate your time tonight.
Yep.
There's the readings there on the coast, 334.
These are some of my absorbed dose here. This will give you, 210.
334.
Because 174 and 154. And we had these are some
Those
other
are voltage?
No, those are absorbed doses I get here. This is
where you're getting. Oh crap!
These are my rad read.
Harley rad readings. Jesus Christ,
That's what I mean. I'm in Massachusetts, so this is not healthy. This is
definitely.
People need to understand that this is what they're getting in their homes. But I mean, there's solutions to that.
And we can focus on more this week coming up. So
these are the stones that actually actively repel radiation. You use that in your the aggregate in your concrete.
And we should use that as a teaser to make them watch part 3.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you mix stuff like this in with these naturally generate all the required frequencies to hit all your chakra points to help heal you.
All right. That's a good spot to end.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we can pull back, come back up with that right there. That's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think you people are safe, all these shut-off ones here tells you that just how bad things are when they start shutting even these off, because these are the global cabal system that they're supposed to be completely open and honest with each other, and they're shutting these off.
Yeah. And more is going to be shutting off right away. It's going to be a busy couple weeks to come off the grid.
Right. All right.
So that's the state of things. Thank you for joining us for this little information thing. Yeah, see, that's another thing. Recycling. That's what you do with your waste. You pump them up and put them on your plant beds. Everything. There's so many things that
We can do.
folks got to get on board with this, because it's the only way you're going to survive the
And
mess
thrive.
we've got out there.
Yeah.
And thrive.
And it's flashing here with lightning and thunder.
right.
On that, we'll call it an evening.
And that's Project Ascension. I'm your host, Andrew Mallet, and we'll be back. Bye-bye.